And welcome back to Wednesday night. We're doing fixing buildings. That's what we're doing. How is everyone doing on this glorious Wednesday? Hopefully well. We were struggle busting with this building right here last week, so we're gonna keep going. We're gonna finish this building up today, I believe. So I've got a little bit of white in the brush. I ended last week by putting this window bank in, and it was a little bit too thick. So we're going to straighten that out before I move on. Here we go. I've got 4 of them in already, so that's going to be at least 8 or 9 floors. That's close enough for me for rock and roll. Could I nitpick this thing and make sure I get exactly 10 floors in? Yeah, I could, but yeah. I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy. All right. This is thin. I don't know why this is so thin. All right, there we go. Moving on. How is your Wednesday going? How's your week? When this aired, we are steadily moving closer to the holidays. So hopefully you're enjoying family and friends. Let's see, that's 5. Here's 6. So the other thing I'll do, now that I'm trying to really gauge the size of the windows, you know, as they go across, I'll do that first pass really thin and then build it up once I know I have it. So you see how this window that I just put in is really thin? Then I can thicken it up once I get it in the right spot. There we go. And I have a feeling I'm pulling from the wrong droplet of black because this paint is not doing very well. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to put 9 in, and then say the mystery floor is just, you know, in Narnia somewhere. Again, I want the collector of this painting to have lived or worked on the 10th floor of this building that does not exist now. All right. So that's it. That's 9 floors. That's good enough for rock and roll. That's much, much better than it was. I'm happy with that. All right, so 9, and then there is this one more. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's one more little grouping of windows, like the 11th floor, whatever. I don't even know how many floors are in this building, but that's okay. There's one more right. Is it? Can I get one more floor in there? Get out of here. Huh. All right. We're doing it. Never mind. I'll have the 10th floor in here. I have room for it. And then the 3 windows that are right here. Well, what do you know? Ta-da! It's not quite straight, but that's okay. Let that dry. We'll fix it. All right, so those are all the windows. So now the lines are going across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 vertical lines cutting down the middle of this thing. Yeah, 6 vertical lines. So we're going to clean up the outside edge. What is going on with here with white? No. Put out a new drop of white. Where am I going to put it though? Running out of room here, so we'll put it right here. This is full use of your wet palette right here. Jeez. All right, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to clean up this edge. So remember I said last week that I wasn't worried about the ends of the windows because I knew I could just square them off with you know, a simple paintbrush stroke like that. Okie doke. All right, so I got to get six vertical lines in this. They are rectangular windows, so I'm going to keep that in mind. So if I go, let's just kind of put tick marks in here that I can fix if they're wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'll bring these in a bit. Okay, now for these lines, same deal as the black ones. I'm going to turn this a little bit so that I can draw the line with the paintbrush. I'm going to come in a little bit on that first one because I was a little bit too wide when I got to the end. So we're going to start about here. Make sure we got that straight. There we go. There's one. There is 2. Oh, wait. 1, 2. So the third is halfway mark. And halfway, we're not halfway yet. So I've kind of crushed them a little bit. See what I mean? Like if I put the third one here, I'm not quite halfway. I'm going to have an extra line in there. So I'm going to correct, how am I going to correct this? Again, this is the moment when I can fix this beforehand, you know, before I get too far into it. Is this the, I'm trying to find the black drop I just put out. So it's pretty easy to fix this without having to repaint all the lines. I can just kind of knock them out, those white lines that I just put in, by running across like this. Good, 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 good. That's better. Okay. Give that a second to dry, and then I can pull that out a little bit more. So, and I do that a lot too. You know, like when like I said, when I first sketched or put the little dots in there, I was, you know, too wide in the beginning. So I overcompensated, and then I was like way too shallow the second time. That's pretty common. You know, you get kind of get in your head how something should be, and then, I don't know. All right, let's try that again. We'll move that over just a little bit now. Yeah. This one over a little bit. 2. 3, and then it gets to the point like right now, I'm just sending it. If it looks good. 4, you know, if it's not quite perfect, if I have an extra one, you know, it's going to be okay. 5. Split these last 2. 6. You know what I mean? I'm okay with that. Fix this top one. Remember the top one was too big. All right. Woo, Billy. That's good. Now, all right, here we are. At the end of the last episode, I was like, hey, I'm missing like 3 floors. Should I leave it? Right at this very second, I'm super glad that I didn't. You know, it took a little bit to fix it, and now it's right. I mean, it's really right. So that makes me happy. All right. While I was goofing around with that, I lost my reference photo. There we go. So we can finish this building up. Come on, man. What are we doing? Ugh. There we go. Technology. All right. Yeah, let's finish. Just finish this building up before we move on. That's probably the safest bet to do. I could try to grab some other stuff around it, but nah. Let's grab some of that gray. One more black. Oh, that's way too dark. Way too dark. There we go. Better. Better, better, better. Again, back to it with air conditioning units and little towers and things like that. Don't know what's going on top of that, but that's okay. Like I said, now, and I talked about this a bunch of times, the farther back I get now, the more difficult it is to see what things really are. Like before I could kind of guess or, go online and look. Now it's like they're just little blobbies. Makes it difficult to see what they really are. So, and it's fine because I just got to paint what I see now instead of getting into trying to necessarily figure it out. And then that will really help. All right, so that's good. That's the top of the building. That's going to be airbrushed. We're good there. We're good there. All right. A little airbrush going on this. And we made good time on this little guy, which is great. So we're going to add that shading in on the bottom of this building, and that will separate it from the cheese building. You'll see what I mean. What's going on down there, though? Yeah, I could do that too. All right, 1 second. Load this up, but I'm going to put this aside. Oh, I grabbed the wrong paint. But that's okay too. Yeah. There we go. So I just got to finish the details down here before I airbrush. I don't have to. I could airbrush and then put these in after, but since I'm thinking of it, it's right here. Got it. The windows. There are windows on this side too. Start ticking them in. Although you really won't see them until you put the other building in the back. That's good. A bit darker there. All right. Oh, the other thing I was thinking about with this painting too, I'm learning a lot about, how paintings are taken care of and hung in a museum environment. I'm always thinking that these paintings are going to private collectors and hanging in their homes. There's a different idea when it goes to a museum. Now, hopefully a collector takes as well of care of their art as a museum does, because, collectors who have high value pieces really need to do that. But, it's not necessarily the same thing. First of all, security isn't necessarily the same thing in a house as it is in a museum, where you have the public coming in and out. So these paintings are very, very, very small, very easy to pluck off the wall and walk out with, So I'm starting to think from a hanging perspective as far as added security. And one of those things is the French cleat on the back. A French cleat it hangs in this little, extruded aluminum gutter, essentially, that's attached to the painting. Makes it difficult to just pull the painting straight off the wall. You have to lift it up and out. There's also a small security type screw system that I've found that is, you can't really see it when it's attached, but it pretty much screws the painting to the wall. And again, for these small paintings, that might be a nice thing, especially in a museum setting. So again, little things along the journey that I've been trying to pick up. This painting will probably be the guinea pig for all that, the French cleat and the security tab. So you guys will be able to see all that. All right, so let's shade the bottom of this one. Kind of ground this building in now. And also help that cheese building to pop out again. There we go. I don't have to go too crazy because I haven't got the building done to the side of it. Well, looks good. I'm happy. Yay! That building's done. There's a big building behind it. We're not going to worry about that yet because I want to fill in this gap, this little gap right here, which is a little blue roofed building Gotta get that done. So we are about halfway through this feed, so that's good because we can get it done now. So let's grab another copy here, and this, and that. That's the other one I had. Never mind. I loved getting soapbox topics. You guys keep that up. I like it. I'd rather talk about what you guys want to talk about than me blab all the time. So keep them coming. Again, I generally record these episodes in advance. So if you don't see your soapbox the following week that you suggested it, that's why. Don't worry about it though. But I'll keep them going. Whoa, there's blue over there too. There's blue way over there. It's above that. Can I find that? It's above, so there's the blue is, there's a pool. You guys can't see it in your reference. Since I'm about to put blue in the brush, I'm going to try to pick this out. It's that. It's below that. It's right here. Cool. Again, blue is not a color that's common in this painting, so if I can get some of the blue all done at the same time, that little guy right there, that's going to be good. All right. The rest of the building that this blue roofed building is gray, so we're in good shape with that. So line this back up again. Yeah, perfect. We'll line that up. Yeah, those windows are really, I did all right with those. They should be a little bit thicker, but I'm not going to worry about that. All right, blue roof. Do I have white in the brush? I think I do, which would be stunning. It's kind of a turquoise color. Yeah, I do have blue in the brush. White in the brush. That's perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit these two little roofs with white first. The white will act like a primer, so I don't have to put a ton of blue on this to get them to pop out. So I'll hit them with white first. Like that. Yeah, turquoise colored blue. It's going to be daylight blue. And a touch of, yeah, why not? I need to buy more moss green too. A little bit of moss green. That'll give me a nice turquoisey color. Good. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Nice turquoise color, which you can't see, but there it is. So again, this turquoise color, now, because I've got the white down on there already, I'm not going to have to put that much of this color on it to get it to work. If I didn't have the white there, I'd have to put on a bunch of layers just to get that to build up. And for that small amount of area, yeah, don't want it. Don't want it. All right, that's good. What's going on in that little building? Nothing. Just a cute little building. Oh, there's a bus in front of it too. Yay, I got the bus. There's the bus. This is also fun when you come, again, I've said this before, I did this bus way back, when we were doing the street above the high school, so I put that bus in. Now it's just nice that I'm doing this building and I'm like, oh, there's a bus down there and I've already got it in the right spot. That's a good feeling because trust me, I've done it so that, oh, there should be a bus right there, and I look and the bus isn't anywhere near there, it's somewhere else. And it's over in a spot that it shouldn't be in, and then I'm like, oh, what did I do wrong? And you gotta go back, you gotta fix it, and I've been doing this long enough that that happens more times than I'd like to admit. All right, there's another little building behind that, but let's work on this little building first. We'll get this guy locked in. He's got some airbrushing on him too. This line is incorrect, Steve. That goes more like that. This guy got a couple little details down here before you airbrush that. And he's got windows on him and all kinds of fun stuff. Okay, good. Windows. Okay. Little windows. Oh, that's the cheese building. You guys, you gotta stop me. What I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's no windows on the cheese building. I missed the entire building. I swear, you know, well, you can't do it because I record them early. It's not like a live feed, but there should be like this, like light that you guys can push. Like when I'm screwing up, you guys can push the light, and it's like I'll see it, and I'm like, what? Oh yeah, that's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be over here. Oh well, we wanted to fix the other building anyway. Not really though. There we go. That's better. Those are the freaking windows on that building. There's a roof, and he's got his blue little roof, and then you got these guys, whatever this is over here, another building, and some of them, and two of them, and three of them. There we go. That one, a little bit of white there, but also a little bit of dark there too. What I'm doing is I'm letting that dry so that I can fix it, because that was dumb. Above that building, there's two windows going this way, like that, and then the roof bits, which connects back into this guy. Okay, good. That should be dry now. Now I need a dark gray to fix the cheese building. So we'll use this one here. Hopefully we won't have to re-airbrush the cheese building. I mean, like heavily airbrush it. I don't think, well, I may have to hit the bottom. No, I don't actually. It looks pretty clean on the photograph too. That's good there. What's going on above this guy again? That, another window, like that. Blue building is fine. A little bit of white on that. Yeah, good. So again, I didn't mention this originally when I started that building last week. The reason why I did the big building instead of doing these smaller buildings is because once I had the big building locked in, it was really easy to see where like the little blue roof building goes and this thing. Where it might not have been so clear if I tried to put these small, like lesser visible buildings in and then tried to put the big building in. It's just, again, I knock out a big area, and then, you know, and then the other little voids are easier to see. I hope that makes sense. All right, a little bit more white on this guy. Got some other roof bits going on there. This guy. More lines on the road over here. That. Getting close to the reference photo, sorry. Here we go. Okay, good. That bus looks good. I'm leaving it. We're sending the bus. Good. I am very happy with that. Excellent. All right. And moving on. There's a brown building. Do I have brown on here? Yes, I do. Is this going to work? Probably not. Ugh, this brown is gross. Dry it out. Okay. Brown. Right down here. Good, let that dry. Yeah, before I get into the rest of this area here, I'm gonna have to do some cutting to get that the way it works. That should work. We still got 5 minutes, so yeah, let's get this blocked in for the next part, and then that will be good because we can just jump on it when we get there. So again, picking lights and darks. I've got a couple little marks there, but not a whole lot. I also don't know what I can see with this thing. I may go with the lighter. Basically, I try to go with whatever I can see. So sometimes if there's a, like here, it's, yeah, that's really dark, and that's really dark right there, and that's really dark. If there are a lot of stuff like that, then that's what I'll grab. But in this case, I think it's going to be the light stuff that I'm going to have to grab, because I can see more of the light areas than I can of the dark areas. So we'll grab these buildings like this. That one. This one. That's the brown one we just did. This is good. We're almost back to the other side now, which is quite lovely. Whatever this big building is here. That building there. So again, this is a little bit more refined in cutting than I did originally. Originally, it was just a matter of getting a bunch of stuff in, like the brightest brights. This is more, like really start to kind of get the details, nitpicky stuff. Because what the nitpicky stuff is becomes, the details and the rest of this painting. So work with kind of a broad brush in the beginning and then tighten it up as we go. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Good. I wish you guys could see this painting live. I mean, I hope at some point it's on display somewhere, in a show or whatever, where you can see it live, because seeing it live, like I said, you guys are right on this thing. You guys are like literally like right there. But to see the effect of the painting live at the very end is a whole different experience. It makes a lot more sense, when you see it live, because a lot of things, like when I'm saying, oh yeah, you really can't make that out in real life. Those are the things that kind of blend together and make this painting really, really work. Now you guys have this thing under a microscope. And that's not my intention for people to see it like this. Yeah, I do like to, people have a magnifying glass or whatever. That's great. It needs to stand up to that kind of scrutiny. However, that's not what I intend the visual impact of this to be. I want it to be a very natural thing, like you're walking by it, you see it, you know what it is, and then it does draw you in, but not to the point where you like have a microscope on it. Close enough that you're like, wow, this is like, like a photo on your phone. That's the experience that I want. And you get that when it's live. The other thing you get when it's live that you can't get on, video or even on a photograph is the depth of the layers of the paint as well. They look different live. It's a different experience seeing the light going through the paint, the transparent layers of the paint, that you can't really experience any other way than live. So, and if not this one, I certainly hope that at some point you get to see a painting of mine, any painting like this live, because they all do the same kind of thing. All right, there we got a bunch of white there, or light color. And I know that's way more than I originally did. So we'll get this in, and then this will be a good breaking point, because what we'll do is we'll pick it up next week right from here and knock all this out until we get right to the other edge. And then we'll just reverse the process and go back across. It'll be great. because now we're getting into it. Like I said, we're going to start getting into the part where I'll be covering a lot more area, because there's just, you can't make it out. You can make out the big buildings, but you can't make out the small buildings. All right, where's my white? There it is. Good. All righty then. Here's a little bit of white for you. Again, I'm not going for saturation here. This is my roadmap. This just shows me where those light areas are. I don't have to worry about if I go too bright though, because I can always tone it down. But again, I don't have to like worry about getting it perfectly like brilliant white. There, yay, that's awesome. Okay, let's take a look at the whole thing. Here's what it looks like. And yeah, things are coming right along. Again, that once we get this area done, that's the first inch of the painting, the bottom inch of the painting. Well, maybe 7/8 of an inch, something like that. But it's coming out great. So thank you very much, guys and girls. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and click the bell icon for notifications. That is the free way to help us out here, and it really does help a lot. Dropping your comments in below. If you have a soapbox for next week, or if you have, comments on the painting or questions, please drop them below. That also helps out a lot. If you'd like to help us financially, which is also wonderful, keeps the lights on, you can do what these wonderful people have done, and you can become a member here on Patreon, or you can become a member on Patreon, or as a member here on YouTube. YouTube members here get a 10% discount on everything on my website, as well as early access to to the Time-Lapse Tuesday. There we go. All right, that's what I got. So for Steve Leahy and Through Lachlan's Eyes, I will catch you guys all next week. Have a great one.